First things first, thank you all so much for 4,300 subscribers. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already hit that subscribe button, but if you're going to shop any of the TCG singles or pick up anything in the coming days, if you can just do me a favor, click this TCGPlayer link in the YouTube video description. Doing so helps you support my channel with singles you'd already be buying, doing absolutely nothing. Later in this video, I kind of ask you all if I think I should start a Patreon for content like this. I love to put out the free content, so the best way for me to keep doing that is for you to click this link right here. Thank you. What's going on, everyone? Vampyr Gaming here, and today we're going to be talking about the Premium Reprint Booster that is now just coming out. It technically releases this Friday. And a big part of the time we're going to spend here is going to be talking about why I will not be buying some. I still may. I was going to pick one up today just to be able to use for content, right, for you all. But at the end of the day, I bought one booster box, and I'll be honest, I massively overpaid. I paid $150. It is what it is. But I think every single booster box is neg. And we'll talk about why. But first, I'm going to need you to hit that subscribe button before I do that. Thank you. Oh, nope. Joey? Okay, thanks, Joey. All right, so first up, we're going to talk about Gum Gum Fire Fist Pistol Red Hawk. Absolutely crazy. I remember the first time somebody was like, they said the full name. But this card is seeing a resurgence, and you can even see here with the huge spike of buying in Shanks. Noel Lim, if you're familiar, he's a one-piece goat from Singapore. He released a list. I don't know if he's the first person to put Red Hawk in it, but Shanks is starting to play Red Hawk. And one thing about the older rares is sometimes when they start moving, there's a lot available because nobody plays it, but once those get dried up, less come to market. So there's over 200 listings. If you don't have a playset and you think you might play Shanks, I think it's a solid time to just look for that playset. I'm sure a lot of people have been picking up theirs, but again, huge spike past couple of days of people picking up a playset, some people picking up more than a playset, and things like that. Now let's talk about Premium Reprint Booster. First, click that link if you're going to buy anything. But first up, we have the Sanji leader. And, of course, he's starting off hot, $2,244. This is, of course, just pre-sale price. Take those for what they're worth. These, of course, will be less. However, my understanding is Sanji's a one per case pull. Let me know if you've seen any difference in the comments below. But Sanji is a one per case pull. And in terms of the alt, one per case. So it's what I've seen so far in terms of ratios, and we'll take a look at some people's pulls here after we talk about the set. But so yeah, we got Sanji. I would not touch this anywhere near here. But let's go ahead and talk about the set as a whole. So Premium Reprint Booster, or Premium Booster, it's technically Premium Reprint Booster 01. The best is the name in Japan. But here we just got Premium Booster, the best. So it's a full set of reprints. These reprints range from all of the sets, OP01 to OP06, arguably EB01. So that's my biggest EB extra booster thesis was Premium Reprint has Chopper, has the manga Chopper. And so that's technically an extra booster 01 card. So will they include it in the next one when they do one? We will never know until the time comes. But with that in mind, so OP01 through OP06, in previous videos, I've highlighted cards that aren't getting reprinted because there's a lot that are. But each one comes with, there are these new full art versions and of existing cards. So they're expanded foils. And then there are new alternate art versions of existing cards as well. Here we see Yamato. And then here we see an expanded Nico Robin. And then the biggest thing is they have Dawn cards. So they have foil Dawn. So also don't fall for these. These show the gold foils, but there is zero chance anyone's sending you a gold foil. Because this Zoro has it $23.99 for a Zorodon. This one doesn't have a gold photo, but these do, which is very misleading because these are 100% selling just the regular foils and not the gold. The golds are going to be quite a bit more than that. I almost just snap bought these two. Then I had to take a second and be like, that's not them. But you see here, Otama, a new alt. We get these weird, interesting, like the straw hat foils, and you get one of those per pack. And then you have like alt arts. And so the box breakdown is you get 2 secret rares, 2 of these alternate arts, and then 2 of these alternate arts with like the gold or the Sanji leader replacing those hits. But yeah, so you get 2 of these, 2 secrets, which also includes Katakuri, Kuzan, and a number of other goodies. And there's just so many different cards, so many different things that you can pull. Like, first off, we also have these sweet Marcos. I'm looking for a couple of those. You've got Ulti. You see this already sold at $5. But you know what bad alt arts sell for? What bad alt arts sell for? They usually sell for, like, nothing, right? Like, this is $10. So you're looking at 2 of these on a good day, $15. And then you're looking at 2... expanded alt arts, which are like, is there any other examples in here? No, this card's really cool though. But expanded alt arts like this, they're going to be, a lot of them are going to be like $5 hits because there's a lot of them. And so most booster boxes are going to be like $40 worth of stuff. You're 90+% of the booster boxes, and opening sealed is never the move. Opening sealed is never the move, but like 90% of these are going to be neg. You get 20 super rares. You're guaranteed a super rare hit in each pack too. So each box has 20 super rares, which is going to make a lot of our existing super rares very cheap because one, everybody's going to be trying to unload them to recoup all the money they just spent on these boxes because nobody's getting them at MSRP, and then everybody is wasting their funds on them. Not wasting, of course, like if you enjoy it, but a lot of people are spending money and not making money, and a lot of people like to recoup, or they didn't get their chase hit, this or that, what have you. And so a lot of them are going to get listed, and it's going to put so much more supply for cards because like nobody was opening OP02. Nobody was opening OP01, right? Like so few people are opening these, but now all of these are getting flooded onto the market. So it's going to be a huge move. Like here's an expanded Nami. This one will probably be money. And then, Ichiji, these will probably be something. This is just a regular straw hat foil. But yeah, you see this expanded Luffy. A lot of these are already relatively low in cost, as you can see on like what people are listing them at. And then there are also like events that are the alts, but you can't really tell because they're like textured. So it's super interesting. And yeah, it's just, I don't think the value is just not going to be there, especially as more people open it. Everybody's going to list. Come Friday, a lot of these are going to be really cheap. Come like the next week, I think they're going to get even cheaper. All right, and then we're going to take a look just on PRB. We're going to take a look at some of the hits. So this is Mr. Voodoo's case. He opened on Twitch. If you're not familiar with Mr. Voodoo, check him out on Twitch and YouTube. Really great guy. But you can see here, these are all of his pulls. You see some of these new alt arts, these expanded alt arts, new Perospero, expanded Niji, awesome Trafalgar Law, cool Otama, and then we see, of course, Izo, Katakuri, the new alt Katakuri, Shirahoshi. But this gives you a really good idea of what a case looks like. You get 2 gold Don per case, and then you get, what is it, 2 per box? How many are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15. I don't know. You get 15 of these foiled on. So a little over 1 per box. Something like that. Maybe it's 2 per box. But yeah, those were his case pulls, and then we'll take a look at Chris Pack. Here are his alt arts. So it's interesting, right? Because this beige is an expanded alt art, and then some of these count too. You can see the stars. You got Shockwave. It's like, okay, great, that's awesome. I got this Ice Age. It's textured. Those count. And so these are his case hits. And then in terms of actual alt arts, you see Sabo, 3000 Worlds, this, that, those guys. And then the Don. These were like all from whatever, but gives you a good idea. These weren't from 2 cases. These were from like a lot of cases and some stuff. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into the others. And then I think some of the super rares, we're going to take a look at some of the super rares that I have my eyes on. So you got Kuzan. Kuzan was $20. $20. Now he's back. He's $3 already. $3 because you can pull one per pack. You can pull, and you can list these too. So people who have gotten theirs early, you can pull these in a pack. 20 super rares per booster box. 20 packs. Just insane. So I think Kuzan's one of those cards I'm watching because Kuzan is an evergreen card that has continually, time over time, found his way into the meta. Over a year ago, he was $20. He found his way all the way back to $5 after the Sakazuki days, and he's found his way all the way back up. So once Premium Reprint Booster kind of dries up, I think it could be a great opportunity for Kuzan to come back up. But also, if you've never played Black deck, you can go ahead and cop yourself a Kuzan. I think the time, I think anything $2-3 is okay. I think that's kind of where he's going to be. I would probably wait because everybody's still waiting on their product, and then everybody's going to want to get rid of their stuff. This is the cheapest, then it's $5, but I think 2-3 is relatively reasonable. And then, of course, you've got Tenzan. Tenzan was $20-30. Now we're all the way down here, $5. $5, all it takes, and it really just brings them down. And then also there's new alt arts introduced, which creates competition for those because it's like, okay, you can buy this one or this one, and you want the cheaper one, then you're like, well, I want mine to sell. So it creates just more competition in that space, which again drives those alt art prices down as well. And so both these Kuzans also have alts. And then, of course, Borsellino, again, another card that has been historically very expensive, is the cheapest Borsellino has been in the past year, with him peaking around $50. Again, $3. You see this one's Japanese, but yeah, anything in this range, $2-3, absolutely pick it up. It could be $1, but the upside is so much more because there's just so many hitting the market, and it's been so long since that's happened. And it's like one of those longer holds. These all become like longer holds for cards, but all these are phenomenal reprints. This is the cheapest people can enter in. And then with this, of course, money has to move somewhere. So I think it's going to move to a couple different places because everybody's like, okay, these are no longer worth anything. These decks have to have value somewhere. For the most part, a lot of it will try to transfer somewhere. And so a lot of it's gone away. This is the price. Again, cheapest it's been in pretty much a year. Last November, this was probably around when I bought mine, and I got over a year's worth of play out of them, and they're back to that price. And Eustace, again, this is like a green staple. It's a great opportunity as opposed to picking up a box. Just pick up the cards you don't have, pick up some staples, pick up some nice things, and just spend that $130 that you would on a booster box and everything you need. Yeah, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. And then, of course, there's also Charlotte Katakuri. He's already down to $20. This card was forever expensive. I remember when he was $30, peaked at $80. $30 on pre-release, then he stayed $30. One of the few cards to do that. And then, of course, again, the alt art also just making his way down here. I think these are great cards to kind of pick up, especially if you wanted an alt Katakuri. I think the peak opportunity is going to be somebody who has one at the locals. Throw them an offer, get this $35, $45. People were paying more than this for regular ones forever. I think it's, I think there's gonna be a huge opportunity on this just to have, right? And then then you got these Don. This isn't the gold Don. You're not gonna get a gold Don. Don't buy these. But the foils. The foils, I would not pay anywhere near this. This should be $5. I'll probably buy a playset for $50. Is probably what I'll end up paying. But let's go ahead. I try to keep some good stuff in here for you. So, of course, one of the cards that have been kind of on his way up and I've been watching, I also sold a guy mine at locals, my extra set, and I knew I should hold on to it, but I like the guy. He's cool. And so I wanted to hook him up. But Sanji, I think you should pick these up ASAP, especially if you're playing purple, if you think you'll play purple, and you have the disposable funds. I know that is a bit of a struggle out there sometimes. It's okay, you know, figure it out when the time comes. But if you got an extra couple dollars laying around, Sanji. You're going to play him in purple Luffy, and you're going to play him in purple black Luffy. Both of these decks, I think, you know, you got the Nika Alt-Art. A lot of people are huge Luffy fans. A lot of decks kind of like, you know, fandoms have a price, right? And the deck is still relatively good. People are going to want to have fun, experiment. They're going to need this card. This card hasn't been super relevant since RP Law, and it's in 500 years into the future. Set's still kind of down, but this is one of those few cards. Like, there's not a lot of cards in there that are valuable. Not a lot of cards in there that are valuable. So this is one of those that can really kind of creep up on you, like Jinbei. Do I think it has the magnitude of Jinbei? Absolutely not. It's not best deck in the format, but I think we could see something. You know, I think this card has a lot of room to grow in terms of cost, as, you know, both Luffy decks are very popular and they're relatively decent, and it's the first time people can play it in a long time. On that theme, I also think Lin, again, this one's 2 Legends. 2 Legends doesn't have a lot of good cards. So as it stands now, not many lists that have done well have played this, but this card is a very good purple card and just an overall great purple generic card. With that being said, I think that this is one of the cards worth picking up. I think if you get a playset at 10, great opportunity. Like, you can kind of see they're a little bit all over the place. She's been slowly making her way up from what was once $1, because she's played in the meta now, but not played in OP09. In a lot of decks. I mean, it's definitely playable, but you get Rush Luffy, you get so many more to the Straw Hat package. It's interesting, but I think that there is a world where this card finds its way back into the meta. I think it's like, you know, again, if you have the funds, I think it's a great opportunity to pick it up. Now, kind of derailing just a little bit, we've got Jewelry Bonnie. Jewelry Bonnie. So this is the celebration pack. Of course, Bonnie was kind of hyped there for a while. This card was also very expensive for a while. You see $100, $100, $100, $50, and then now we're sitting $33. Just wanted to highlight this, just in case anyone was looking to add one of these to their collection. It is a phenomenal price. I think I paid that for my winner. And these cards are actually really cool. You know, they commemorate the first ever One Piece Nationals, and a lot of these have held up as opposed to their successor of this year's, and it's a good green card. Searches Supernovas. I think she holds up throughout. Not a bad pickup. What I have one. If I didn't own one, I would definitely pick one up around here. Maybe even see if I can get one for eBay on 30. But yeah, and then another card on the topic of like blinged out cards, which I don't touch on all the time. We've got Ice Age. Ice Age being a staple in every single black deck, especially with Great Eruption banned. We now have new alts entering the chat. There are foil versions of the card, and you can kind of feel that impact as this has slowly gone down. It's sitting at about $20. So I think there'll be a little bit more pressure on this as those. I'm sure that the other foils are going to be very cheap too. Based off of prices we've seen, I think they're going to be relatively affordable. I think it's a great opportunity if you want one of these. But I kind of like the other ones. I won't lie. Definitely check them out, especially if they end up being like $2. Because, again, I think a lot of the premium reprint booster stuff is going to be cheap. And then, as always, you know, I try to throw in a goodie in here, especially for those who watch through the full video. So, again, I'm mentioning Sanji. I think I mentioned him before. I might not have. But Sanji is important. You have to play this in black purple. If you want to play black purple, pick this card up now. And you know, if you're still here, let me know in the comments below. I've debated so much about like starting a Patreon, and I just come to know because I like to put out just all the free value that I can for you all, especially for those who like don't have access to it. I would still continue to do videos like this, but it would be more, a lot of these fill up a lot of space, and then you can really tell, like, if you actually listen, which things I have conviction on, which things I truly want you to pay attention to. And it would just be like it would just be like this, but streamlined on all the actual points. And the main goal would be, of course, for you to be able to get into decks as cheap as possible and like know when I believe is an optimal time, or like when I would pick these up. I could be wrong, obviously, but overall, I mean, you know, I screamed Jimbei forever from the top of my lungs. I was telling people to pick up their Brooks at $2, like all kinds of stuff. And it means the world when I see people who are like actually listen and pick them up and are like, I'm so glad I have this playset. And again, don't ever overextend yourself on cards either. I mean, it's just cards. But let me know if you'd be interested if I'd started a Patreon. It was almost like a streamlined version of this, but with more of a detailed breakdown. Like this Sanji, you need to play in Black, Purple, Luffy. And the biggest thing is you have to buy the deck to get this. And if you look, this is $4. So this is $8 in value right here. And the rest of this is really nothing. And the entry to this deck is in a store, $11.99. And then here, $15. When sealed, it's worth more sealed than it is open. And so the only real card that you need is this and this. And of course, Nami's starting to make her way, but I don't think she's worth mentioning just yet. But this right here, Sanji, you need him to play in Black, Purple, Luffy. And so what happens is as people start to play Black, Purple, Luffy, people are going to need to buy this. And while, yes, it was played in Black Luffy, and it kind of caused a little bit of action there, like as opposed to like over here, kind of went up. But this is going to see play in another deck, and it's going to be at a 4 of, more than likely. You're going to want this because as these get bought up and as these become less available, it's got to be worth it for somebody to open their deck versus selling it sealed. And it slowly just tries to make its way up. We've seen it with structure decks before. And so if you want to play Black, Purple, Luffy, it doesn't hurt to have this. But that's only if you want to play Black, Purple, Luffy. And then it's debatable. I think this card is playable in Usopp as well, but we'll see how the new support. We don't know what cards we're getting, but just keep your eyes out on this. And again, in the comments below, just let me know. Would Patreon be interesting? And of course, we've got Rayleigh Silvers. If you're going to play Shanks, get this card sooner than later, as soon as you can, even if it's like picking up one every paycheck. Grab this. He's still played, I believe, in the new list to double check that, but definitely, like, of course, test it out to feel what you like. But this card, I believe, is just going to go up because he was 3,000 yen in Japan when Shanks was rising, and I'm sure Shanks is going to be even more popular here. So just something to keep your eyes on. And again, I highly implore you. I think this card is just, it's so good. I'm playing it in Marco right now, and it's just, this card is very good. It doesn't hurt to have.